and we're going to talk to a Hall of Fame columnist. Now, Dick Weis is our next guest, and he's covered over 45. Now it's probably more than that. 45 NCAA finals, NCAA college basketball finals, over 35 college football national championships.
Wow. So you think of the games that he's
Can you
witnessed.
imagine what the things that he's seen?
Gosh, yeah. He's seen it all.
Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome into the locker room the Hall of Fame columnist, Dick Weis. Good morning, Dick.
Good morning, Dick.
Hey, guys.
Hey,
how are you?
Excellent.
Hey, Dick, you got more airtime last night on TV than Clarence Rupert. I saw you.
I heard that. I must be friends with the director. That's all I'm saying.
You had great seats. You were right up there on the court, and you got to see in person, live and in person, as we did, because we covered the MAC tournament down here in Atlantic City at the Boardwalk Hall, where
Very nice.
Yeah, where the St. Peter's Peacocks won the MAC, and now you get to see them playing the big guys in the big tournament at the Wells Fargo Center, beating Purdue.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. You know, back in January when they were playing the home games in the MAC, they were drawing about 500 people when they played teams like Ryder. Now they're playing in front of 20,000.
Good for them.
And the amazing thing is, it doesn't seem to affect them at all.
That's great.
I mean,
Now you're right.
They run really good offense, and they have the ability to adjust on the fly defensively.
And Dick, you made a great point. Like you said, we watched them at the Boardwalk Hall. I watched them play Ryder, and I watched them beat Monmouth to win the MAC. And there could have been any more than 500 to 700 people in the crowd.
I mean, no stage is too big for these guys.
Right, but no stage is too big for these guys.
You know what? It's great. And everybody's a Jersey guy right now.
Yeah.
Right, yep.
I mean, that place was loud last night. And it was, I mean, you know, people love the underdog. And Wells Fargo was filled with people who were rooting for that team. I mean, I don't think they've ever had – look, I know they beat Kentucky. I know they beat Murray. But I don't think they've ever had an experience like this because it's right in their backyard. I mean, it's a trip down the turnpike, and you're there.
Yeah.
Well, their population of their college, I think I saw like 3,000
Yeah,
students.
it's a small school, but like
2,100.
2,100. Like Dick said, that it was, you know, it gave an opportunity for people that were really fans and relatives to come see the game, which is awesome for them. It's great.
Dick, you've been around. We're talking with Dick.
You know what?
That
was a terrific doubleheader last night, guys.
What time did you get home, Dick?
You know what? It probably was close to 1. The game didn't end till close to 12:30. I mean, this is the only problem you have with the Sweet 16. If they start the games at 7:09, you ain't getting out of there.
Yeah, it's a long night.
After midnight to begin with, and by the time you get out of the parking lot back on the road, you know it's close to 1. It's crazy, but you know what? It was definitely worth it. I mean, St. Peter's. I mean, the idea that Cinderella could be still with us and still dancing up a storm is pretty amazing. First 15 seed ever to advance to an Elite Eight, guys.
That's awesome.
Now, Dick, you've seen a lot of Final Fours. This has got to rank right up there with. I mean, even though it's not the Final Four, but I mean, this tournament has to rank up there with some of the best.
I mean, as far as like college basketball in the city itself, I mean, you got to go back to the Leitner game in '92 to remember games that had this type of significance and this type of historical record connected to it. I mean, who would have guessed? I mean, Jersey has not had a team progress out of the first round since 2000 and let's say 2000. Seton Hall got to a Sweet 16, and it was Shaheen Holloway's senior year. And ironically, he never got a chance to play the game because he got injured the game before against Temple when Tyshawn made a jumper to push him into the Seton Hall. Now, 22 years later, he's coaching a team that's playing in the Final Eight.
That's crazy. Hey, Dick, it's Brad, and Billy was reading your incredible resume.
Brad.
And the events that you've covered. I'm a football guy.
You played at Iowa.
I'm a Hawkeye, and I want to. And you've seen some great national championship football games. My question: I got a little side bet with Billy. What was the best college national championship game that you witnessed?
You know what? I actually think it was the first year when Ohio State came out of nowhere
Okay.
as a 4th seed to beat Alabama in the national semifinals, and then went on to win the whole thing. Because right now, college football tends to be a Southern sport. I mean, if you think about it, it's that SEC footprint in that 11-state area that usually produces teams that win national championships. And I am worried that we are not having a full national championship competition because the SEC wins almost every year.
Yep,
Yeah,
true.
and they're getting bigger too.
They've got talent.
Dick, I thought you were
They've
going to
got
say, and that it just threw me off a little bit because it wasn't a national championship game, but I think the greatest college football game that I ever saw, and you were there, was the Fiesta Bowl, Miami and Penn State in '87, I believe, '88.
That was a great game. I mean, people were still stunned by the outcome. I mean, you take a look at the personnel in Miami, particularly
Hall of
at the
Famers.
defensive side of the ball, and the fact that Penn State came up with that type of game plan to really limit the things Vinny Testaverde did that night was unbelievable. It's probably, they had 2 great games that year when State won. They beat Alabama down in Tuscaloosa. Then they came back and they won this game. I mean, and both games had great defensive game plans. No one would have guessed State over Miami, but you know what? That's why they play the games.
That's why they play the games.
There's a lot better chance of this happening in a one-and-done situation than there is in a playoff like basketball.
We're talking with Hall of Fame basketball sports writer Dick Weis, and you know what? There's another. We asked the question earlier in the show. The best David versus Goliath win. There, I guess that one ranks up there too. The Penn State Miami. I forgot about that, and I was there.
Yeah, except that Penn State, I mean, look, I know John Schaefer wasn't a great quarterback, but Penn State was unbeaten, and they were nationally ranked. I mean, so it wasn't like you were looking at a 15 seed. I mean, St. Peter's, when they went and entered the tournament this year, they were 1,000 to 1 to win the national championship.
Wow.
They're now 50 to 1.
Dick, I got to tell you, man.
It shows how far they come. And in fact, they are the primetime game tomorrow night.
Are they really?
Right, yeah.
Wow. Well, the country is united around them, and the country loves the underdog. They love the underdog.
Yeah, the whole country's.
Yeah, we love the underdog.
Dick, one thing that was brought up about this.
I totally agree, guys.
Yeah, one thing that was brought up about this particular team is the fact that the defense that they play, the tenacity, the tenacious defense. They caused Purdue to Purdue's offensive game plan. I mean, they had that 7'4" Ebby or whatever his name was, and I don't know why they didn't get the ball down low to him more often.
Well, probably because he wasn't in the game. They lived most of the second half with Travion Williams. The problem that they had was they just totally self-destructed in the second half. I mean, they missed their first 10 threes. They turned it over 15 times. And I'll give Shaheen Holloway credit for this. With about 5 minutes to play, he decided to go 2-3 zone. And Purdue went almost 5 minutes without a field goal. And it was during that period of time where the game turned. Purdue was up 56-52, and St. Peter's not only wins, but they win by constantly making free throws down the stretch.
Yeah, 90%.
Yeah, they're very
They
good.
made all 11 free throws. All 11 free throws they attempted in the last 4 minutes.
That's incredible. Hey, Dick, you co-authored over 12 books on basketball Hall of Famers like Rick Pitino, John Calipari, Vitale. You also written a tribute book about Mike, Coach K. You've been around him for a long time. He's obviously, retiring at the end of the year. Tell us a little bit about Coach K and what he's like.
Well, I think that the fact that when you pass the test of time and you win in different decades, it shows that you haven't really lost that much off your fastball. And he has his team playing really well right now. I mean, they're offensively, they're right there. And in the last 12 days, they've shown enormous growth from the team that lost to Virginia Tech in the ACC championship game. I think his decision to start Jeremy Roach at the point at the start of this tournament is really paying dividends because they have 5 guys looking like they can play at the next level up, including Piala Banchero and Mark Williams, who probably are going to be first-round picks. And my guess is Banchero has a shot if they continue to play like this, being the number 1 pick in the country. This year in the NBA draft. He's huge, 6'10", 250, and he's an offensive force when he gets it going like this.
We're talking with Dick Weis, Hall of Fame basketball sports writer. Dick, who do you have in the Final Four?
Oh, God. You know what? At the start of this tournament, I thought it was almost going to be a scratch tournament. And now there's only one number 1 Kansas left. And there's a chance that you could have 3 ACC teams in the Final Four right now. Carolina's going to be the favorite. Duke will be the favorite tonight. I think Miami's playing well enough. They beat Auburn by 18. They won last night by 14. I think they're playing well enough to play Kansas on a neutral site game. And then we have the winner of Villanova and Houston. That's going to be an interesting game. I think Jay Wright coaches beautiful basketball.
He does.
But Houston is the type of relentless team that just goes after every loose ball, that is as physical as you can be under the rules, and really offensive rebounds the ball well. So Villanova's going to have to absorb some body punches first. But they're the type of team, if they get hot from the 3, you never know what's going to happen next. And they're good enough to do that. We'll see how well he shoots the ball today.
Well, Dick, listen, man, we really I know you got in late last night. I wanted to get you on because we were seeing you on TV so much last night. I said, I got to get Dick Weis on.
Well, it's so nice talking to you guys.
Thanks.
Hey, Dick, thanks for your expertise. We really appreciate it.
Thanks. Have a great day.
Hey, listen, everybody have a good show, okay?
Thanks.
All right, there he is on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline.